Watch this one. We'll be talking about it on B Sport next Thursday morning all over Australia and especially in New Zealand. Here we go. Daniel Jacobs, Dimitri Pirog. Right away. Big right hand by Jacobs. Now, Dave, the kid from Russia, is the stage too big for him, you think?
Well, we're going to really find out here. It's a big stage for Jacobs, too. They both won at the same level of competition, and now there's pressure on Jacobs, too, because it's his home area. He's expected to do more.
Now, these guys do have extensive amateur careers, so they fought on the world scene before, so that would help out in this thing. But, you know, neither one of these guys has ever been banged like at least one of them is going to get banged tonight. Now, let's watch this.
We're going to see a lot about their composure, and we're going to see a lot about their professional growth.
How about the two cut bodies of these two fighters? I love that professionalism. Paco, the president of the WBO, is here. I told him when I go to Puerto Rico in a couple of weeks to do a fight, I want to take him out to dinner. He said, no way.
Whoa, stop.
I like that. He says, I'm aware. I know the laws. Okay. As the Daniel Jacobs peppering him with the left hand. Trying to set up, I tell you this, the right hand is there for Jacobs. Pirog handles that left very low. He can get away with that fighting Russian fighters where they hold their hands really high. When you start dropping your hands like this, it won't take Jacobs long to zero in on that. And his left hand is not that quick. He's just powerful, and he's been getting away with it with lesser fighters. This is only his 17th professional fight.
We've seen the Russian fighters when they come over here, a lot of stand-up fighting, and we don't see a lot of the crouching and getting the power through. Now we'll see if Pirog is an exception to that.
I'd be shocked from what I'm seeing in the first round if Jacobs doesn't knock this guy out. With the way that hand is, I just see it right there. I see Pirog splattered across his ring very shortly. What's this? You see him switch to southpaw? I don't like that. Jacobs doesn't need to do that because remember, when you turn to southpaw, you lose power, you lose accuracy, and you can be hit. Now, with all that I said, Russians are very tough. You don't believe me? Ask Fedor Emelianenko.
You know, the stage, there's for both of these guys, and Jacobs seeing a little bit there with the switch. There's no need to shift and switch at this stage of your career routinely in the middle of the fight.
But he's done it twice, Dave, in the first round. Did you see what happens when you switch? You get hit. And Dimitri clocked him with a shot. I bet he doesn't go southpaw again for a while. Good hard shots. That's where the high hands help. Interesting first round. I think Jacobs probably got it. All right, round number 2, scheduled for 12, the WBO Middleweight Championship of the World. Daniel Jacobs, undefeated. Dimitri Pirog, undefeated. The great middleweights in the world, Sergio Martinez, Felix Sturm from Germany, Paul Williams, Kelly Pavlik, Sebastian Sylvester from Germany. You got the kid Gever from Armenia who's in there. Look at this. It's tough. And of course, Anthony Mundine, we've got a huge audience down in Australia on a Sunday afternoon. Anthony Mundine is in there.
He got drilled by right hand after the left hook to the body. Some excellent work here from Pirog.
You know, again, I mentioned both of these guys, or I should say neither of these guys has ever been hit real hard. And now we see what happens when Jacobs has been hit hard. So maybe I got to take back what I said in the last round. I thought the way that hand was down, that this guy was going to cakewalk through Dimitri. I take it back.
Well, he's really going to work here, and he's dug a few nice body shots in on Jacobs.
Well, let me tell you something. I didn't like the way his left hand was down, but I like what I'm seeing right now. This guy's good, and he's got Jacobs hurt. Jacobs made a huge mistake switching to southpaw, and he got caught. And it changed his whole psyche. And the Russian, nothing bothers Russian athletes. They're bred for this.
Well, Jacobs ran into a guy that hits harder than
anyone he's
been hitting, and hit causes you to freeze up a little bit, worry a little bit, and that's where he is now. And that's part of whether these guys can grow in the course of a fight. Okay, you have some adversity. Can you get past this adversity? This is what it means to grow as a fighter, if you can do it.
Jacobs, we don't know if he's ever been really hit. He's certainly never been hit as hard as he's going to get hit tonight. He hasn't been in that ring, even though he's got 20 wins. He's been cruising through everybody.
This is the hardest I've seen him get hit in a number of the fights that we have done.
You've done a couple more of his fights than I have, and I've never seen him get hit hard. Not like he got hit hard in this round, and it shows. But the first time he got hit was in the first round. Jacobs won the first round, but the hardest punch landed in the round was landed by Pirog. And it changed, as I said, the psyche of Jacobs, and it's carried over to the second round.
Don't push, don't push.
Pirog is winning the second round, much more so than Jacobs won the first round.
He's made a definitive statement. And Pirog is on the verge of taking over this fight. That's how good this round was.
Closing seconds of round two. I told you it was going to be good. Honestly, I didn't think it was going to be this good. It's super power by both guys. The bell ends of round number two. Robert Byrd keeps telling Jacobs, don't push him down. Only conditioning kept him from hitting the canvas. If his knee touched, that's a knockdown. Here we go, round three. If you're held up by the ropes, that's another factor, Dave. You know, Robert Byrd could have called that a knockdown, but I think Robert was right on top of it, and I think he made the right decision. In fact, I know he did. Jacobs has got to battle back into this fight. He's got to get his head straight.
And he'll try to do it by getting outside and boxing first. Try to return to your fundamentals first.
I like his movement now. I like what I'm seeing from Jacobs right now. He's getting angles. He's throwing the right hand. He's not switching back to southpaw. He slips around to his right, now back to his left, up on his toes. He's got really good balance now, and he's thinking of punches and bunches. Right hand lead, left hook. Dimitri just comes forward. This spells explosiveness at any moment.
This is like they're sitting on something that's about to go off. Which guy is going to be able to detonate his bomb?
I'm going to tell you, on this night, at this particular moment, there's no place in the world I'd rather be than right where we are in the universe. I can't wait for what's going to happen before this night's over. 45 years of calling fights, Dave, and I still love it.
Still get those goosebumps, don't you?
I got the hair. It's sticking up in the back of my neck right now, waiting for a knockout here. Because Jacobs is battling back, and Dimitri's not giving. But you can feel the adrenaline flow by Jacobs now. He's got a whole different psyche here in round three. That can be taken away by one punch by Pirog.
Talked earlier that these guys have to overcome obstacles that have not been in front of them before. That's part of becoming a champion. And we've already seen Jacobs having to withstand what happened last round and try to come back. And I sense there will be some moments with Pirog in this fight, too, along those lines. And there's your switch again to southpaw. It just opens up the lead right hand.
I totally disagree with this. Look at it. He threw 5 punches. He missed them all. He's fighting as a southpaw. He has no accuracy as a southpaw. He's going to get hit again. It's ridiculous. This guy's too good a fighter. And there, remember I said, when you fight southpaw in your right hand, you lack power. He landed what looked like a nice left hand, but there's no power because he's not a left-handed fighter. It really annoys me when I see this. I shouldn't get annoyed because all I'm supposed to do is describe the action. But I don't know why they do it. Now he's back fighting properly. Much more success. Closing seconds now of the third round. This is a Jacobs round.
He's landed tonight, and that's what.
So about to praise his great defense. All of a sudden he gets nailed with the right hand. Here we go, round 4. Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, Nevada. 2 undefeated fighters in a 1-point fight going to the 4th round. I'm Colonel Bob Sheridan with Dave Bontempo. Wherever you are around this fabulous world of ours, we're glad that you're dropping in on Las Vegas tonight. digging body shot that time by Jacobs.
What we have seen with these two power punchers together is they don't get cheated.
No, they don't.
These guys have the percentage of power as opposed to regular shots is high with these guys.
Little chess going on here now. A little sort of taunting by Pirog. What he's really doing is trying to distract him and get position. Look at the defense.
And Jacobs trying to set a trap there. No reason for him to do that.
With everything that I knew about Jacobs, because I called his fights and everything I read about Pirog, this is not the fight I expected. I thought it to be a 2 or 3 round blast out from the get-go. Instead, it's really good boxing, but the anticipation of the power shots from either one of these guys is wonderful. The atmosphere in this arena is tremendous.
Remember the concept about too much respect we talked about before. At least to the point where I'll throw my power shot, but I know I can't make a mistake.
And how about this? Pirog now laughs at Jacobs when he hits him. How disconcerting is that? Arguably one of the hardest punches in this division is being laughed at by the Russian. There was a time when they would call for war. Missiles would fly. Well, the Cold War days are over.
You laugh, you pay.
That's it. If I were Pirog, I wouldn't play with this guy, though, I'll be honest with you. But then again, I'm not a fighter.
Well, he wants to maximize these chances with Jacobs in the corner.
But, you know, the other thing, this round is too close to be playing because, you know, he's the foreign fighter here. You got 3 American judges and an American fighter. You don't want to mess around. He's never fought on the road before. He had one fight in Germany that went the distance, one of the few distance fights he's ever had. And he must have been sensational to get a decision in Germany. But here it's a different kettle of fish. I'm not saying they lean towards the American. They're very fair here in Nevada. But for his sake, you don't go to a foreign land and not win your rounds convincingly. And he's not winning this round convincingly if he's winning it at all.
And when you fight on the road, you've got to take the mindset that you need to win by 2 additional points. Just figure a couple close rounds are not going to go for you.
Sudden, I think Jacobs has won the round when I thought that Dmitry Pirog would win the round.
Studying his expression, he seems to be adjusting very well.
But remember, the judges don't have the advantage that we have of replay. This is round 5, Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, Nevada. 2 undefeated fighters. Middleweight championship of the world on the line of the WBO. The pace picks up. Here comes Dmitry Pirog trying to pick it up a little bit. 2 guys in tremendous physical condition. Talk about 6-pack stomachs. They got 6-pack stomachs, 6-pack shoulders, 6-pack arms, 6-pack legs. These guys are in great shape. And now that I see that we're going to have a few rounds, it's a good thing. That's why you can never, ever take anything knockouts for granted when you're training with fights. A bit on the low side, and now Robert Byrd says keep him up. 1 or 2 more times, and Robert will take a point away.
Jacobs got out front of that by showing his sportsmanship and apologizing, which is a good thing to do if you realize you've done something wrong. Here's where the height and reach comes in for Pirog.
He's not going to get up. His fight's all over. He got nailed right on the chin. 5, 6, 7. He can't get up. It's all over. He's knocked out. He wasn't moving. His eyes are back. Dmitry Pirog, like a bolt out of the blue, hit Jacobs right on the chin. He was in more trouble. Tight up of a windstorm. Down he went. He tried to snap up, but Robert Byrd made up his mind. You raise it back, you're done. And he's still done.
There you go. This is boom, lights out. And look how he gets all the power. Watch the hips. He drove into that one. All 3 judges had Jacobs winning as we had him a little bit out in front too.
We had him ahead 39-38, so, you know, we're right on the money with the judge. Watch this right hand.
Steps in.
Boom!
Now, what I love about that is how he shifted his weight. At first, hopefully we get a chance to see it again. At first he squared up, and then he jumped into a position where he had power. That was a sweet move to to get himself into the power position. At first it looked like he was squared up, but he made a subtle adjustment, and that subtle adjustment creates the knockout.
Is the brand new WBO middleweight champion of the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at Mandalay Bay, a new middleweight star is born. The winner at 57 seconds, round number 5, still undefeated, and now the new WBO middleweight champion of the world from Russia with love, Dmitry